I don't watch a lot of political content. Like, I'm not very educated on the political side, honestly. I don't watch a lot of debates. I've seen some debates though. I've seen Charlie debate over abortions with college students, and just some little shorts, TikToks. But I've never seen a full debate, so I'm pretty interested to get into this video. Especially, I do want to see Charlie debate. The news being spreading around. I can't say much else, but I send my support to his family. It was awful what happened, and even though I, from my understanding, don't fully support his message, that should not happen to absolutely anyone. So, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Is This the Wildest DEI Debate Yet? Charlie Kirk versus Online Troll. I think DEI meant diversity, equity, and identific. I don't know. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's diversity, equity, and it's commented down below. That's what it is. Let's get into the video.
Mr. Simple, you've said some very nasty things about me online, so the floor is yours.
Thank you. Simple question, Simple Black Theory. What do you think about blind hiring? Are you for blind hiring?
No.
No. So why not? Because blind hiring, for those you don't know, is based on merit, where you don't
it's
look.
not.
So what's blind hiring?
Blind hiring would be that you do not put the race actually when you submit for, you don't even see the person when you interview them for a job.
No. That's one part of blind hiring. There's multiple ways to do blind hiring. But at the end of the day, blind hiring is exactly not knowing the person's race, age, or gender. That's based on merit. Like you said, you want merit, correct?
Well, hold on. Those things can factor into merit as well. For example, if I'm trying to hire for an Amazon warehouse worker, and all of a sudden I find out that they're at 69 with 1 year left from retirement and the age is not disclosed, wouldn't I prefer to have a 24-year-old man than a 69-year-old woman who's overweight?
You're moving the goalposts. Let's bring it back here.
No,
The whole point was about blind hiring.
No,
right?
you said race, sex, and age is not incorporated.
Correct.
I think.
Damn. Charlie has a point there. Charlie has such a point there. I think this man who is debating him is trying to only get one point across. I think if he wanted to debate about it, he should say he's clearly trying to debate one or some type of thing that happened, which doesn't really have to do with blind hiring. I mean, I guess it does, but Charlie has a point there because blind hiring is exactly what he's saying, and honestly, I stand with him on that. I'm not for blind hiring, but not for any racial reasons. For the reasons he said, imagine for example, you need to hire someone to be at the manager's desk at a beauty salon. Would you hire a 60-year-old man to do that? Probably not. Or if you want an Amazon worker, like he clearly said, then you probably want someone young and strong. But yeah, the other guy already started off very badly. He should have made his statement maybe differently and asked if Charlie thinks whatever he is debating is correct, because yeah, not a good start for him. Let's see where this goes.
You should have a full picture of a human being is when you hire them.
So you care about diversity?
No, actually, I don't.
Why? Because that's basically merit. You're focusing solely on merit. You said you want meritocracy.
Just to be clear, if diversity happens naturally through meritocracy, great. If all of a sudden we have people
DEI.
that, well, no, it's not. DEI is by force.
So let me explain that.
No.
Go ahead.
I got to interject. DEI is that we are going to forcibly make an institution more colorful.
Right.
We're going to forcibly make an institution more black. Where if all of a sudden, if half of Texas A&M was black because it was all on merit, praise God, that's an amazing thing. It doesn't matter. If all of a sudden, for example, if the NBA is 75% black because it's on merit, great. Terrific. If the NFL is half black because on merit, we don't want to force race. We want excellence and meritocracy over race in every possible circumstance.
Thank you. Yes. He's got a point. He's got a point. I'm sorry, I can't say. He's got a point. I mean, the best, I think, thing that I could say, that represents this right now is, for example, like, or let's say, an easy example of this is Disney right now. I mean, they made Ariel black. For what? For what? Ariel was a white girl with red hair. That is forcibly trying to diversify, and I don't stand for that. I mean, Snow White was Latina. Come on, guys. Come on. It's Snow White. And I'm half black and half white, and I was like, girl. Okay. Interesting choice. But yeah, I didn't like the response to the movie though. Everybody was like going in the girl's social media and bashing on her. It's not her fault. But yeah, no, I agree with Charlie on this. I don't even know if my point, if you understand how my point correlates to this, but yeah.
Right, yeah, my turn. Okay, so let's get into the NBA, for instance, right? Can we both agree at one point black people weren't allowed into the NBA, and then they allowed them to be in NBA? Wouldn't that be considered diversity? Wouldn't that be DEI in itself?
No. It's actually the opposite. You see, you're
How
mistaken,
so?
my friend. It's actually, we're getting rid of any racial stereotyping. What happened was actually a form. No, DEI is racial stereotyping.
So
what actually was before was a form of white preference DEI, which is white supremacy or whatever. And then we got rid of it. We said, we're not going to discriminate it. And the quality of play got better. Do you guys see the difference between the two? You see,
Yeah,
it's very important. Well, no, actually, I'm talking to both you and the crowd, right? I'm talking to both,
okay.
Right? So what ended up, what you want is you actually want to bring back a form of how Major League Baseball and the NBA used to work before we desegregated.
So we can agree that Executive Order 11246 is what basically brought in DEI, correct?
I think that might be it.
Right.
Is that the affirmative action
So
one? I don't know.
No, it's not the affirmative action. It's for DEI. So within that executive order, where does it say that they're solely focused on making people get into jobs? For instance, like United Airlines, right? You mentioned that, well, let's pause that. I'm going to get to here. So for an example of DEI is basically your daughter, right? She decides to get a job, right? And unfortunately, it's that time of the month. She goes into the bathroom. Calm down. She goes into the bathroom. Stop. She's going into the bathroom.
You're losing the audience, man.
I don't care. I'm talking to you. So she goes into the bathroom, right? And she goes into the bathroom and gets a tampon or a pad that's been given from the job. That is DEI. That is literally, yes. Yeah. You don't know. That's great. So if you don't know, DEI, interrupt me so he can win. Go ahead. You want to do that, right? Or be quiet and we can talk. Thank you. So, right. Can I continue? Thank you.
Ooh, I don't know about this man. He shouldn't be like, if he would just like, don't listen to the crowd. Keep talking. Get it over with.
So, my thing is dead. All right, so, yes, because in Executive Order 11246, they say that DEI is focusing on a safer environment and a more equitable environment within the workplace and the hiring process. Let's look at Google. Google actually does DEI. You know how they did DEI? Give me an example of, do you know Google's DEI? I'm pretty sure you don't.
And they shouldn't, of course not.
What is their DEI initiative?
I actually don't know the specifics because I don't know every company's specifics.
I got
However, let me ask you a question. When you're hiring somebody, would you rather hire someone that's black or someone that there is excellent?
So that's what we're talking about. That's not what DEI is.
Actually, it is. So let me prove it to you. As I said, according to the Student for Fair Admission Supreme Court case, black students were able to get into Harvard with
affirmative action, not DEI.
Affirmative action.
Hold time out. You're
Time out.
old shit.
Time out. You're getting too worked up here, man. Okay. Time out. Affirmative action is DEI in practice. You see, DEI is a theory.
Wasn't it struck down by Supreme Court?
Yes, and they still ignore
so
it.
why are you bringing it up?
Because they're still ignoring it, my friend.
So let's focus on my question I asked you.
Hold on. Let's get back to the core macro tenet, which I think is very important.
Correct.
Which is, wouldn't you prefer a country built on excellence and merit,
not
one
DEI does.
based on forced pigmentation diversity? Why does somebody's skin color matter? No, tell me, what differences do you as a black man and me as a white man have, and why does it matter?
Okay, so
why does it matter?
So let's look at, because again, you don't understand what DI is, and you're trying to put it in one stance. What
He is still talking about the same thing. He's still trying to get his point across. He's lost it. He's lost his point. Like, I understand both of them. I think this guy is not hearing out anymore. He's just trying to get his point across at this point, but he's not like not understanding like the debate. That's what it feels like. Like he kind of like he's just like a broken record right now.
which is not. So, thank you. So, back to this question. So, an executive order, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't know Executive Order 11246, correct? So,
I mean, I have an idea of what President Trump signed, correct? But because he got rid of that executive order.
Right. And in that executive order, it says, literally, y'all can Google it too. It says that DEI focuses on both the workplace and hiring.
Oh,
now,
got it. So does it focus on diversity?
Now, let me explain a
Does
DEI
it have the word
initiative.
diversity?
Yes. But
We should not have any forced diversity, period. End of story.
It's not forced diversity. It does not say forced diversity. And I'll put money on that, too.
What, does it say diversity?
It says diversity, yes.
Well, then it's forced diversity.
But it's not forced diversity.
Then what is it? It's a suggestion?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm lying. Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
But it has the word diversity.
Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. Executive order with the word diversity.
Can I give you an example of DI initiative then?
Diversity?
Let me give you an example of DI initiative so
okay.
you have a better understanding. So let's look at Google, right? Google's one of the hardest companies to actually get into. In fact, I believe it's a 0.
Yeah, he lost it. He's still trying to get his point across. He's talking about the same things all the time. Clearly, he had his phrases he wanted to. He's not. Oh, what? Oh my God.
2% chance that you actually get the job, right? They actually run a DI initiative. Their DI initiative is called a hiring committee, where they have a diverse group of people that have been
idea.
working.
Awful.
How? So you're telling me Google sucks?
Google actually is, honestly.
So y'all using Bing. Y'all using Bing.
Honestly, ChatGPT's way better than Google recently. I don't know about you guys. No, but honestly, to your point though, Google has lost its competitive edge in a lot of ways the last 10 years. Hold on a second. Again, Google does a lot right, but hold on. Google has lost the social media war. Google tried to launch a Facebook competitor, an Instagram competitor, failed. They tried to also launch a Zoom and a Skype competitor.
Let's focus on the conversation.
Failed.
That has no proof
Google's
that was
market
DI.
cap. Google's market cap, otherwise known as Alphabet, has actually missed expectations over the last 2 years versus Netflix, Amazon, and Apple and Microsoft. In fact, there was a prediction 10 years ago that Google would be the first $3 trillion company.
Right.
Turns out that it was actually Microsoft that was the first $3 trillion company. Now, of course, Alphabet is a very good company in a lot of different ways, but if your argument right now is like, well, because one of the biggest companies on the planet has embraced a bad idea, what is your argument exactly?
They're still one of the best companies in the world.
Not because of that, because they were built by merit, and it's being destroyed by diversity.
And they use DEI to get that merit. Listen, if they're hiring people.
My eardrums. Man, the moment someone starts screaming, that's when you lose the debate already. But I don't know. I think like I don't definitely think that every workplace, every business should be diverse for various reasons. Not only to embrace diversity, but also because of cultural differences that can bring a lot to the company and a lot to a lot of businesses. But I don't think you should force diversity, or it shouldn't be something that has to be, you know? I mean, if you think of like some type of company that doesn't really benefit from different cultures, and sorry to be saying this, but it's just facts. Like, let's see. What could I use as a, products for black hair. Because, like, for example, my father and my sisters all have black hair. They have afros, curls. If I was in a company working for products for black hair, I have no idea. You know, I can do my studies and stuff, but, you know, probably a company like that would benefit more from people that have experience. I'm just saying. You shouldn't be racist towards workers or towards employing workers. You shouldn't, if it's not something that you're exactly looking for. But I do think that everybody should have a choice on who they work with and who will represent their company, and that shouldn't be judged neither. Just saying. Just saying.
Yes, it makes sense. If you're doing a hiring process and you have a hiring committee that is DEI and they're hiring the people that's making the company as great as we just said, your argument is that DEI takes away merit.
It does.
But if we see that Google is doing well and they're using DEI, how the hell are you saying that DEI is not making merit?
First of all, Google has not.
Yeah, he's not listening. Google is not doing well right now. Like compared to other companies, I mean, it's doing well, but it was doing well in the past too, so.
Not had this hiring committee around since its inception.
They have. Not since its inception, but they had it for a while.
Secondly,
and the people in the committee are people who's been there for a while, which is very diverse.
Secondly, you have not answered this fundamental question, though.
Go ahead.
Which is, can you tell me when an organization gets forcibly more diverse, it gets better?
Google.
Again, I just proved to you, Google is...
Google.
Okay.
I just gave you Google.
Again.
They use DEI. Not only are they one of the best companies. Oh, yeah, I hate that argument. Great.
I mean, again, it's just, they're fine. I'm not going to, like, totally kind of crap on Google. But, like, more importantly and more broadly, I do think you have to answer the question.
So I can't.
Why does skin color matter at all in hiring? Answer that question. Why does skin color matter?
So, if we look at basketball, because you love talking about that, right? Can we both agree that at one point there was no black athletes, and then what happened? They diversified.
We got rid of forced segregation, which is a form of DEI.
And that diversified the basketball,
because
right?
It was based on merit.
Was it diversified?
Yes, but not by force. No, hold on a second.
Very much.
Hold on, but if your argument is that if you want to make things more merit-based, then let's do it.
It is more merit-based.
Hold on a second.
They made it diversifying. They diversified basketball, bringing black people who are good in it.
Nothing you're saying is making any sense.
Oh, okay, I bet.
Because what they did.
Of course you don't.
The NBA went to pure merit, pure excellence. Are you good at this? That's all they cared about.
They allowed black people in, right?
Exactly, because prior.
Okay, then.
Hold on. Because you know what
he's not understanding the point. Like Charlie's point is not that they did diversify, but not because of that. They diversified because they look for excellence. That's it.
they had prior was a form of racial stereotyping. And you want more racial stereotyping. Your worldview is indecipherable from the KKK.
So
what you want, it's indecipherable because you are race obsessed. I am not race obsessed.
No, you
talk
though.
About the race. You talk about race more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Right.
Because
I'm the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Well, think about it. I said your worldview. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're around talking.
Oh, I hate people that can't like self-criticize at all. Like he doesn't stop in any point to think, okay, I get your point. And then you say your point. That's so freaking annoying. I'm sorry. I was not expecting this to go like this. I was not expecting to be on Charlie's side on his debates. But honestly, he has a point. And the other person is just, I don't know if he has his ideas clear or, I don't know. It's weird. And also he has no way, like he's not good at debating, which also is a skill. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have a point. But he's not good at debating, clearly. Yeah, he's getting distracted and he also doesn't take any criticism, which is also like in debates, you don't just have to like stand on your point. You can change your mind. Well, you don't have to change your mind, but at least respect the other person's opinion, like Charlie's doing.
I'm about race all the time. I'm talking about character.
You talk about race all the time. You literally said DEI is based on race when it's not. It's DEIA with accessibility.
Man, you're getting really upset. You should take a pause.
You keep lying. For instance, right? I've been trying to say this. DEI, one part of DEI is literally giving women tampons or pads at work. Oh, yeah, you're laughing because you don't know that.
Giving women tampons is a form of DEI.
Yes, it is. You know why? Let me explain. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm about to explain to you guys. So basically what happens is, the reason why we have DEI is the fact that in a job location, right, they want to hire more people of diverse. So these initiatives, these goals, these aspirations that they're doing is trying to bring more people in. For instance, like if, what's that store? Trader Joe's, right? They let people sit down while they bring stuff in. they help disability. That's DEI. That helps disabled people get a job at Trader Joe's. But what you're telling me is that we are not allowed to tell people that for like onboarding. Onboarding in itself is also DEI. When they explain to you sexual harassment, when they do all these things, when they make it more a safer place, that is DEI. And what you're saying is that the workplace shouldn't be safe. What you're saying is that more companies should have discrimination lawsuits.
Let's get back
That's what DEI
let's
stops.
get back.
Discrimination lawsuits.
DEI is racial quotas. End of story.
Give me one racial
United
quota. Give me one.
Airlines.
I Googled that.
So
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh,
I Googled it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
He's so excited. I googled it. Okay, I see his point though. I kind of see it. I kind of see why he's going, like what his thought process there is, but okay.
So
go ahead, continue.
What did United Airlines announce? Because you know what I said about black pilots. What did they announce when it came to pilots? And why should skin color matter when you board an airplane?
So just to remind everybody, it's Charlie Kirk's idea. He basically, yes, stop talking. So Charlie Kirk basically.
Ooh, that's very misogynist. That's not very DEI of you.
All right, let me finish cooking. So, right.
Come on, let the man speak.
So, can I finish? So, Charlie Kirk said that they're basically hiring women of color to make 40 or 50%, right? But when you actually look into it, what happens is...
Women and people of color.
Right, women and people of color. What happens is they're creating a program that's allowing women to train to become pilots. If you actually look at the requirements for these programs, it's nothing different than any other program that trains pilots. But you told people that they're just hiring women when that's not true.
First of all, I never said that.
Yes, you did. I did a video on it, guy.
Yes, I know what I said. Secondly, when you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising the standards of excellence.
They're not hiring based on race,
Allow me to finish without interrupting.
All right, go ahead.
When you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising excellence to be able to pursue race. We know this with Harvard, University of California. We know this with major companies. We know this with the government. Exactly. DEI, that is affirmative action is DEI philosophy in practice.
Already. You're bringing old shit that's been struck down.
Allow me to finish my statement. They are actively defying the Supreme Court decision, or they are contorting their policies to try to fit their own DEI agenda. But let me ask you a question. If you were to board a United Airlines...
I ain't get to finish. Go ahead.
If you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse? Answer the question.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines...
Because in the pursuit of diversity,
Yeah, what he's basically saying is like, do we have to force diversify? I would rather fly a plane with someone who's qualified. I don't care about the race. But I would rather have excellence than diversity, you know? Like, I think he's got a point there. He's got a point. He's correct. Like, come on, guys. Come on. He is right. I'm sorry, but he is right.
Pursuit of diversity, you sacrifice excellence every time. We know this with Harvard. We know.
And he's not saying that you shouldn't have diverse people working or diverse pilots, for example. He's just saying that you would rather have someone who's very well qualified than have diversity. You know, there's a difference.
This with Yale, we know this with the military. Every time, every example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent.
So
it becomes subpar.
When you go on a plane, do you go to the pilot and ask for your credentials? Or do you believe that the airline did the right thing and hired the right? So you ask for their credentials.
Actually, I'm starting to. Hold on. I start to doubt it. That was my statement. That was my statement. My statement was if you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs the question: you are going to lower the standards.
So my
you're going to put a square peg through a round hole. You are going to force.
No, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, also depends, because it doesn't mean that like they're not as good at it. Like, I don't know. I don't get his point there really. You don't have to necessarily compromise on excellence by bringing diversity. So yeah, I don't know about that point, but okay.
something that naturally is not happening. And you will all of a sudden be playing a very treacherous and
Well, he responded my question right there. If it naturally happens, then cool. If it doesn't, then
dangerous game when you board a plane. When I get heart surgery or if I board a plane, I don't care about the color of the skin of the person doing it. I want excellence and I want meritocracy.
Yes, yes. So, stop talking. Are you talking? So, right, let's get back to, because you're talking a lot.
it's a debate.
Final point, then I'll get to the next question.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so again, going back to what you said, because like I said earlier ago, you said, and I forgot, I think it's ISU, you basically said that that women are being hired to become pilots, right? Now, first, that's a lie. That's based on a program. Second, correct me if I'm wrong, becoming a pilot is based on skill, correct? It's not based on height. It's not based on physicality. It's not based on nothing. It's based on skill, meaning
Not
that
always.
if you're being, so what is it based on?
Because based on a now public lawsuit with the Department of Transportation in 2016, 2017, air traffic controllers and pilot standards were lowered in pursuit of diversity
true. I
goals.
looked at that too.
Because of over
They
15,
added more
let me
shit.
finish, because of 15 whistleblowers that said the standard of air traffic controllers and pilots were being sacrificed in the pursuit of diversity,
lying
equity,
again.
and inclusion.
You're lying again.
Okay, I mean, people can do their own independent research, and they
I've
also...
done it, and you're lying. They
okay.
actually made it harder. They add more scenarios within the FAA.
Again, everybody
you
here
can Google it. Google it right now.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Again, the documents bear out exactly. We now have... We have air traffic controllers after air traffic controllers have said in the pursuit of making air traffic controlling more diverse, we have then lowered the quality of air traffic controlling.
So at the end of all this, what you basically told me is that if merit matters, it doesn't matter, because when we mentioned blind hiring, you said you're against that, which is based on merit.
No, time out. They said that they want to prioritize a group above what is meritocratic.
I didn't say that.
That's what United Airlines said. They said
I'm
half.
so confident.
They
Read
said
the
half.
executive order out loud.
I'm talking about United
right
Airlines.
now,
I'm not talking about the
in front of
executive order.
everybody.
Again, they said half
next.
of all their
You got
new
cooked.
hires.
You got cooked.
Again,
hey, thank you.
We have clarity, and the clarity is very simple. We want a country based on content and merit. He wants a retribalization of America.
Wow, that was a very good debate. I must say that I am on Charlie's side on this one. I think the other guy probably had a good point, but it didn't come across the way he probably wanted it to come across. I don't think that blind hiring is a good idea in many ways, or many situations. I think sometimes it's acceptable, but I have to agree with him. Wow. I almost feel sorry for the other guy because I think it's very brave to be like talking in front of so many people, especially when I'm guessing most people are supporters of Charlie. So yeah, that itself is a great thing to do, to be able to do. I wouldn't be able to keep myself composed most likely in a situation like that. But yeah, wow. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. And yeah, this is very sad. Sad in the way that, you know, this man didn't have to, was unalived. And yeah, I don't stand by all of his statements. I'm not I'm not picking sides at all. I'm just saying on this debate, I must say that he's got a point. That doesn't mean that I'm like all for him or for his ideology or his statements. But this one, I mean, Charlie backed up. Charlie cooked there. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, okay. Thanks for joining me in this video. RIP to Charlie Kirk. And please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!